You are being programmed.
So I always like to show you what they say things are. So if you go to your search engine, it can be any, and type in the following: what is adrenochrome? 9 times out of 10 you'll get the following: adrenochrome is a chemical compound produced by the oxidization of adrenaline. It was a subject of a limited research from the 50s through to the 70s as a potential cause of schizophrenia. While it has no current medical application, the related derivative compound carbazole or carbazolchrome is a homeostatic medication. That's basically, it can clog. That's what that is. So that's just what they say in basic terms adrenochrome is, not what everyone thinks and knows it to be. But also it has another name, and if you look at the chemical compound, you also call it white rabbit, and you can see the likeness to a white rabbit. Now this is one of the most famous quotes. Now a lot of people credit Mel Gibson for this quote or passage. Now if you Google this or search engine it, it'll come back fact check, no, he didn't say this. So I have to be honest and say, guys, I'm not sure if he said this or not, but whoever said this, it rings true. Hollywood is a institutionalized paedophile ring. It is a den of parasites who feast on the blood of children. Every studio in Hollywood is bought and paid for with the blood of innocent children. Now we all know this to be true from what we've experienced, but I have to be honest and say I'm not sure if he's actually said it. So you have to be upfront with these things. So in this video I'm just going to show you everything that I've found on adrenochrome and give it a different perspective what people actually think. Because it's not just about drinking blood, there's so much to it. But like I said, I want to put everything that I've found in this video, make it nice and streamlined, because I've done it before, it got me banned before, but hey ho, I think it's a topic that we have to talk about. So what we're seeing on the screen, guys, is the chemical formula for adrenochrome. C9H9NO3, and it got me thinking, look at the significance, what is that I can look at and find in regard to numerology. So I thought, you know what, first thing I did was I'll times them. So 9 times 9 times 3 gives you 243. Now I'm going to tell you what the significance of that is in a minute, but if you just add up plainly straight away, 2 add 4 add 3, it gives you 9. So I thought, what's the significance in number 9? And this is what blew me away. So think about why they so-called take adrenochrome and why people believe to take adrenochrome for youth, to stay young. Well, when you start looking into masonry and secret societies, this is what you find, and it blew me away. The Freemasons have made it the eternal number of human immortality. Say what? 9 is the number of human immortality, and the so-called drinking, because I can't prove, I've never seen them do it, but they are using adrenochrome, which chemical formula adds to 243, which adds to 9, and it's been made the number of human immortality. Now come on, that is so in your face when you find that you're blown away. Now I started talking about this in regard to what I'm going to talk about in this video 3-4 years ago and it's still not talked about now. Why is it? Why have I shown that 243 and what I'm going to show you in that in a sec adds to 9, which is the human immortality number for the Masons? That to me just blows me away, because they're drinking human immortality. You know, it's there to keep them alive, and it has the same number as the number they have chosen for human immortality. Is that not a wow? Because it's a wow to me, and for you very special few out there. Wow, wow, and wow. So I want to look at numerology, and obviously number 9. So these are the things I have found. The energy of the number 9 represents completion, but not finality. Think of it more in a cyclical sense. It's about the ending of one cycle and the potential it creates for another cycle to begin. Who does this start to sound like, guys? The 9 in numerology acts as an usher in this process of transition or transformation. Who do we know is the god of transitions and transformation? And doorways, because it's opening up a transition from one to another. We need doors. Now, it's not like adrenochrome adds to anything significant. Oh wait, it adds to number 11, the number of the doorways, transitions, the Janus god or entity. Mind blown. Right guys, I just want to show you some quickly on number 9 in the sense of mathematics and why it's so important. In the sense of cycles, which are circles. Here we go, guys. So you just saw the significance of number 9 in regard to circles and the cycles that I've been talking about. It's a really big deal. 9 seems to be connected to everything. Now I want to show you just a few more, and you guys will be screaming, there's this and there's this. I know I could only include a few, but measurement seems a big deal in this reality. So 1 square feet adds to 144 inches. If you add those 144, it comes to 9. Same with cubic feet to inches again, 1728 adds to 9, and so on. You can just see on the screen they all add up to 9. So that's saying something. Why are all these numbers adding up to 9? Is it because it's done by design, or is it by divine nature? Let's have a look at time. 86,400 seconds in a day equals, you got it, 9. 3,600 seconds in an hour. Again, add those numbers, you get 9. 604,800 seconds in a week, 9, and so on. You can see the significance, and there was loads. I could actually go into the old Mayan time and what they class in a year. All these add up to 9. So, you know what I mean, there's only so many I could include because I didn't want to go away from the point of the video. I just wanted to show the significance of 9. For instance, look at Jesus remained on the cross for 3 hours before he died, and he died at the 9th hour. Again, emphasize on that 9. Also, according to the Bible, number 9 is also a symbol of the fruits of the Holy Spirit of God. So the 9: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So they're partaking of the fruits of God. Leviticus 23:32 says, from sunset on the 9th day of the month to sunset on the 10th, observe this day as a special day of rest, during which nothing may be eaten. So the significance of this 9 again can be seen. What was one of the major things that is in number 9? Yeah, you got it. Ladies giving birth, they're told full term is 9 months. You know what I mean? So it's crazy that this 9 is so significant in this reality. It's just intriguing, isn't it? I mean, we've got, even in Egypt, the Ennead. Those were 9 gods. So it's intriguing. It goes far, far, far back, and I could have included so much, but I didn't want to take away from what I'm talking about in the video. Just wanted to show you snippets. Now I want to show you, remember all the way back about adrenochrome 243. I want to show you the connection between that and what I've just mentioned now. So back to this 243. Could I find anything on it? Yes, it added to 9, but it was anything specific on 243. Then a few years ago I found this, because it's from the old video, of course. 243 circles of Zoya Ampin, and I'm like, circles, we're talking about adrenochrome and how they drink in its blood, and obviously there's an artificial one, but circles, circulatory system, blood, and that got me thinking of obviously blood. Then I found this in regard to Zaya Ampin. Just crazy. What do you guys think? It says Zaya Ampin is a revealed aspect of God in Kabbalah. So that's a big thing. It's a revealed aspect. It's also known, it literally means, small face. So could that actually be the blood itself, the small face of God? It just got me going. It just got me intrigued, and it represents the 6 Seraphot, Chesed, Gevurah, Tirafet, Netzach, Hod, and Yesod. 6. That got me thinking, well, 6 is basically 9, the opposite way around. And this is what you're thinking when you see number 6. Yeah, it's the number 9, and vice versa. Now, etymology wise, I found this on the interweb. Just look at the far right, number 9, from the 10th century, so 10 and then 11th and onwards. The number 9 looked like a number 6. And you can quite see it. It's just in your face. So that got me thinking I've talked about the great vowel to vowel shift. The vowel shift period was from the 11th, 12th to 18th, 19th century, when 6 was 9. And when 9 looked like 6. How incredible is that? That just blows my mind. But look closely, and this just might be my thinking, but especially look at the 11th century one. I'll highlight it for you guys. Doesn't it look like that paedophile symbol for little boy lover? But the other way around, and I'll swap it and I'll show you. It's just blown me away when we look at things like this. And I found this, and as you can see, from the 10th century, in the middle between 10 and 11th, the 9 started turning around to look like 6. And if you think about it, people talk about how some part of the Bible, it was written in the 12th, 13th century. Well, when we talk about the number of the devil and the beast and such, and people always refer to it as 666. Could that not be 999? It's just a thought, a way out there thought, but still I found it intriguing that 9 looks like a 6. So here's the mark of the beast. That's what they say it is. Obviously, there's so many different numbers for the mark of the beast, like 616, but 666 is the mark of man. Are we not the beast? So I've talked about that before. But if you add them, 6 add 6 add 6, it gives you 18. 1 add 8 is 9. And I've talked about number 9 look like a number 6 in that great vow 12 shift period. So 9 add 9 add 9 is 27. 2 add 7 is 9. It's just funny that the aspect, the 9, did they make it intentionally that adrenochrome added to 9 so it would be the aspect of God and they are actually drinking the divine? Because it just blew me away how this correlates, and as people say, there's no such thing as coincidence. So that just got my little thought on this about 666 being 999 and how they still both add to, you got it, 9. Right guys, this is, as the little intro said, crazy theory time. And I just wanted to put in a little thought that I have. It's something that's been going in my head for a very long time, and I think it correlates to this. Well, I hope it does, because otherwise I will be crazy. So what it is it is regarding to adrenochrome. Got apple in my mouth there. Its other name is neuromelanin. Now that got me thinking of the situation of adrenochrome. Obviously I'm making a video on that and 9 and a few other things. Why are they taking it? Is it purely the artificial one? Because obviously that's from EpiPens and there's a shortage of that. I think I've put it in, or will put it in on that. But also the fact of if they're drinking the blood of the young or the old, why are they doing it? And I'm going to be putting things in to show you that also. But the adrenochrome itself, the idea, the thought, the spell casting of this, the magic of this, I've showed you that in the numbers, and hopefully I'll show you a little bit more on this. But it's always got to me, could there be another reason apart from what we know behind it? And that word got me thinking neuromelanin, because that's another word for it. So obviously melanin is a pigment responsible for skin tone. And as you guys know, a lot of people talk about how Eve was dark skinned. And it's always been my thought, you can catch up on my old videos where I've talked about, I believe everyone on the surface was dark skinned, black, whatever colour you want to negate it and call it, they were dark skinned. And you might think, well, where were the whites? Now the white skin, the first skin, were either in the cold regions or underground. And that's why it got me thinking about, people talk about reptilian, people talk about other things, and it just got me thinking, well, they're building the DUMBs, the deep underground bases, and around this realm you will see underground DUMBs in Turkey, everywhere. There's huge tunneling system. Could white people or the ancients of the whites lived underground, hence not enough sunlight while we got white skin? It just got me thinking about that, because, and is it the fact that these people are drinking it because obviously they believe themselves to be elites? I call them shites. But also elite means chosen. And I want to show you something interesting in regards to that as well that I've found. It's going to be full in this video. So think about it. Could the melanin be a result of obviously skin pigment responsible for skin tone? And if these people are what some call reptilians or shapeshifters, other beings, were they living underground? Hence all the Native American stories. If you think about it, there was talk of the ant people. And I'll show you an image on screen if I remember. Paul, remember? And you can see it's obviously used chalk and it's white. And people talk about the Grand Canyon in the sense of Egyptians were there. And it just got me thinking, because image on screen now, I have an image of an hieroglyph which looks like ants. Now, could it be the fact that the ant people used to come out helping the Native Americans that, according to them, were lighter skinned people living underground. Was it from an apocalyptic event like the floods, or more than one flood, and the white people decided to live underground, and the pigmentation changed, and people thinking they're like regal or royalty lived underground, and hence they have problems walking out in the sunlight? Is that the case of when we walk out we get a bad sunburn? Because yes, we families of we have, what's that word now, mixed with other skins, and basically this is what a byproduct of it. And it just got me thinking, could that be? And I've always had that thought, because obviously when you see films and TVs and people live in caves, they're always white or albino or thing like that. And could it be in regard to something in regard to melanin? It's just an idea. And why call that a neuromelanin, another name for adrenochrome, and it's also follow the white rabbit. So you can see my point in regard to this. So that got me, that was my crazy theory about adrenochrome being taken not for, it could be dual purpose, for them to make them feel young, but they're topping up on the melanin because they can't go out in this realm where we are. And obviously we have mixed ancestors going date back from the original Eve. Hasn't she got all the mitochondrial DNA for all specific races and colours? So that's just an idea that I've had, that people living in these deep underground bases are basically thinking they're like the elites of a race of humans that lived underground. They may have decided to stay underground when the flood receded. I just don't know. It's just, like I said, it's a wild, wacky theory. And then when you start looking at the word neuromelanin, this is what I got in etymology wise. So it's intriguing. The NEU in neuro, so neuro is spelled NEURO, and then melanin. So the NEU means messenger, which is interesting. It also means mole. So you can see why it got me. So the rho, obviously the new rho, meant rest, calm, tranquility. But why rho, W-I, I know it's not linked, but that meant man. So that got my brain thinking, is there a slight etymology change in regard to the messenger or the mole men? The neuro, the mole men living underground. And Mela, that's where it's intriguing. Now, is it talking about another race? Because Mela, M-E-L-A, in melanin, means black or dark. And Nin, obviously, is a Sumerian goddess. But Nin also means lady, queen, persons in charge, and also lord. So melanin could mean the Dark Lord. Star Wars theme tune I wish I could use. So you can see how interesting just playing with words is. Again, not meant to be taken as fact, just my playing of words, finding interesting things that it seems to tie in with what I'm talking about. So could the fact that this wild theory that I'm putting in the middle or near the end, talking about a different potentially use of adrenochrome, everyone thinks it's this in regard to drinking, stay young, that could be also that, but could it be also in regard to melanin in their skin? Because obviously, when I know melanin is not the same as melatonin, and which is again talking about pigmentation and also skin color. But as we know, melanin is the pigment responsible for skin tone. So if people don't have much of it, were they, I know people say, well, you're white and you've got melanin in your skin. But, I'm on about back in the day when this was after a flood or a reset or a mud flood. It's just intriguing anyway. I'm waffling now, but you can see my point of view where I want to put the crazy theory in as another reason why they are using it or doing it. Just a thought. See what you guys think. Probably He's batshit crazy. Yep. So guys, at the beginning it talks about how adrenochrome is linked to fight or flight reflex, and the argument that the people talk about is that they keep the children scared, intensely scared, so they produce more adrenaline, adrenochrome, etc, etc. Now that got me thinking, keeping children scared sounded like a film to me. Do you remember Monsters Inc? Now in the land of monsters, James P. Sullivan is king. He and his co-worker friend Mike Wazowski are two of the many monsters that work for Monsters Inc, a utility company that generates power for a very paranoid and nervous city of monsters. This power, oddly enough, is generated from the screams of children, like fear, which is produced by scaring them in their sleep. One night, however, Sully uncovers a devious plot to rid Monster City of its power problems, but in all the wrong ways. Together, ironically, Sully and Mike will fight to protect the innocence of the children they scare every night. And obviously, if you've watched the film, they scare children, the energy then gets transferred, and that's what is fueling Monster Inc, the city, Monster City. Now they have to walk through doors. So you see, ironic when I watched it and I know about my Janice research. I mean, just look in the screen, this image had F5 and F4, that's number 9. But they're going through doors, and to stop any children coming through, they set up an agency. You saw them in yellow suits, I'll show you an image now, but they're called the CDA, the Child Detection Agency. Now this is a special squad of monsters from the movie Monsters Inc, whose main goal is to eradicate any trace of humans in the monster world. And it talks about penguins who were able to dress up in another film. So they're talking about this CDA, the Child Detection Agency, eradicating all humans. Now I put a search in for this, and as you can see, I'm showing it on screen and being totally upfront. Look at the images. Look which Child Detection Agency member was first on the imagery, and I was like, no way. Yeah, one with two heads, a Janos-esque CDA member. How wow is that? And we're talking about how would they travel as well through doors. I thought that was just in your face. There is actually a character called Janos in it, but it doesn't actually appear. So could I find anything else? The Child Detection Agency in Gematria adds to 1116, as you can see on screen, adds to, yep, you got it, number 9. The chemical formula number, the number of human immortality, and they're taking the scream. Mike Wazowski, one of the main members of the film. 9 add 9 is 18, which is 1 add 8. Yep, you got it, 9 again. Just these are just coincidences, aren't they, guys? Oh, don't forget, James P. Sullivan, 1044. 1 add 4 equals, you got it, 9. Guys, it's just so in your face. They try to normalise the drinking of blood by releasing articles and science journals into, yeah, it's cool to drink blood, it's so much good benefits for you. And this is what we're seeing with all these articles and all these interviews done by doctors telling you how this could be the next big thing. So they're trying to normalise it, so in our heads it's like a way of indoctrination that this is okay.
3 new medical studies out this morning show young blood can improve lives. Researchers took old mice and gave them blood and blood proteins from young mice. They found the old mice showed improved muscle and brain function.
Scientists hope these mouse studies will lead to anti-aging treatments for humans. CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus is in Los Angeles. David, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
So tell us about these studies and what they mean.
It was something, a cross between vampire and Frankenstein, where they took 2 animals and they hooked their blood supply together for 4 weeks, called parabiosis. And it was experiments that were originally done in the 50s that showed mice seem to reverse aging. Now we know the mechanism. So 3 separate groups showed this. When you hook the blood together after 4 weeks, the stem cells in the brain and the muscle and the heart, they get activated and turned back on. And in fact, the young mice age and the old mice reverse age, and very powerful. Brain works better. They were able to get through a maze better. Their muscles work better. So certainly very exciting findings.
And what does it mean for humans?
Well, the human clinical trials, the researchers say, will begin later this year. And the hope is that in these studies, they identified a particular protein. So you don't need all of the blood from the young person. You need that protein that may be able to reverse some of the effects of aging. So the dream is, instead of treating a disease, we actually change you so you're not aging, and you can actually hopefully even reverse it. Has enormous implications for people with disease and people as they grow older.
You know, David, my understanding is that this was done on a particular strain of a mouse that was inbred. Do you think this could eventually be the fountain of youth, or at least help people with Alzheimer's and other diseases?
Well, the mice are the lucky ones, right? You look at all these rheumatic cancer treatments, they always help the mice. These experiments, as you say, were done in mice that were genetically identical. And so will it translate to humans? The true answer is we just don't know. And so the experiments will be done, but it really is hope that not slowing aging, which a lot of studies have shown with various drugs, but this actually reversed the changes. So there clearly is something here. These are the best science journals with really well done science, but it will take a while before we understand how to control it and use it appropriately and safely in humans.
Dr. Agus, thank you.
So they say this parabiosis has just been starting in roughly the 1950s. You heard this guy say it.
It was something a cross between vampire and Frankenstein, where they took two animals and they hooked their blood supply together for 4 weeks, called parabiosis. And it was experiments that were originally done in the 50s that showed mice seemed to reverse aging.
And another scientist states it's been going on since the 1600s. Yeah, the 1600s. It's probably been going on forever, but they can't even agree on a date.
So there's a couple ways we do it. One way is this really old technique from like the 1600s where you connect two mice together. You make little Siamese twins where you take a young animal, an old animal, and you connect them together.
So there's many things in his story that we can show you as evidence of drinking blood, cannibalism, vampirism. So I just wanted to choose three that you may not have heard of. Now, this is Pliny the Elder, who wrote the blood of the gladiator was drunk by people from the crowd as though it was like a draught of life. So I believe they even sold it to him. So people would rush, a mad rush, to collect or get the blood and drink it. How crazy is that? Now, in 1489, Italian philosopher and priest Marsilio Ficino proposed that drinking the blood of healthy young men could rejuvenate the sick and the elderly. So, you know, you got the church saying about this. And talking of the church, Pope Innocent VIII fell into a coma. He basically said that the blood of 3 boys were infused through the mouth, as the concept of circulation and methods for intravenous access did not exist at the time. At the suggestion of a physician, they got 3 10-year-old boys. And you tell me how they got the blood into the mouth of the Pope. It's not worth burning thinking of, but just look at it. So you got 3 boys of 10, so 3 10s is 30, so take the 0, that's 3. Pope Innocent VIII, 8 to 3 is 11. Or you could times it, guys. The coincidence, 8 3s is 27, which is 7 or 2 is 9. So this 9 and the 11 seem to be connected because it's the transitioning, and it's not worth thinking of. Did this really happen? I've no way of proving it because it's all in his story, and people can say, oh, everything's a libel. It can be. I treat everything as information, and I'm just showing you the information that I found. And it said here that 3 boys were sacrificed basically at 10 years old to await the Pope because he was in a coma. So the coma, basically blood would have been everywhere. So it's not worth burning thinking of, but we just have to take on board what happened. And also in his story, there's talks of blood libels, and did they actually happen? Was they just blasphemy? Was they just slander on certain religions? Who knows? But what I can show you is it's just happened in one aspect, so it might have happened in the other aspect. But it's just crazy to think about all what's gone on, and has it stopped in the past or history? I don't think so. I think it's carrying on today in whatever form that I've suggested, or something I have not even suggested. But guys, it's sick shit, and unfortunately sometimes we have to cover topics like this. I mean, you just have to look in what's come out in the media the last few years. Here's a restaurant in New York. It gets government approval to sell human flesh as a meat. You have here some company wanting to use celebrities' tissue samples to create salami. So they're pushing agendas for this to normalise it. So a breakdown of Armie Hammer's cannibalism and abuse, where he wants to eat his girlfriend. You have Katy Perry that makes constant references to eating human flesh and how nice and tasty it is. It's been there, it's been put out to normalise it, so it takes away the shock value to people if they see it constantly. You got Maria Abramovich doing well, I'm not saying what they class it as, but you got the spirit cooking aspect. Also, yes, it might be not happening there, but it's a spell. It's putting it out there. It's all in our faces constantly 24/7. I mean, we even have, obviously, you got children trafficking in it, and this is tied to it as well. I mean, you got nuns pimping out boys to priests and politicians for gangbangs and sort of. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, this happened, I think it was in Cologne in Germany, and we know what's on Cologne's, cathedral. So it seems it's not just about drinking the blood of children, it's also about the sex trafficking and torture. Also, it's one complete package.
It's people. Soylent Green is made out of people.
Listen to me, Hatcher. You gotta tell them Soylent Green is people!
Yeah, they call me the black sheep. You know they call me the black sheep.
Hello and welcome to What the Flock TV. Did you like that? That bit's new. Right, guys, I just want to again thank you for the love and the support. Without that, these dark days when I have them in dark times, your little comments when I can see them give me a lift, and we need it. So I want to thank everyone who shared my work, subscribe, and just keep me in their thoughts. It's people don't get enough credit for the support, and I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the people who've bought me a coffee. Really, again, that and more. Thank you, guys. It's just it's amazing what you guys do, and not enough is said in videos and channels about just without you guys there is no channel. It would just be me talking to myself, which was the original idea because I didn't think I'd get people to talk, to watch, but this is where we are. So if you join me for the first time, topic's a bit dark, and this is just my thoughts section where I like to re-go over certain things and hard, and just, so you can see I'm a real person, not just a voice behind the computer, the the screen mirror, the Ouija board that we use for good. Now, the topic that I'm talking about is adrenochrome. Now, many people in the community don't think it's an actual thing. If you just Google it or search engine, you can just see it's an oxidization of adrenaline. So whether the two are actually coexisting or one and the same, obviously EpiPens and different things obviously are a form of adrenaline, and the blood that they're drinking, is there another name that we do not know that it goes by? I'm just correlating and putting it together from the adrenochrome as the spell that they've cast and its dark nature. Now, like I said, I've made this a few times and I keep changing it, but at certain points I want to reiterate, like, guys, if the cabal, the evil, want to show that adrenochrome adds to number 9, and 9 is the human number of immortality, that is significant. That is, as some people don't like and some people like, wow. That's for you. And yes, I laugh and a joke even on this topic because I don't like to do topics that are really dark because it affects you. You know what I mean? Looking into dark things, you delving into a pool of turds, as I say, and you're going to come out with them. So you have to just dip your toe in and out, or have the intent and try and have laughs when you can. And this is what I do. I remember when I originally did it, because I was just like I am now. People saying, oh, how can you have a laugh and a joke when you're doing this? People will complain at anything. It's, it's our channel, and I have to mix both. Unfortunately, I have to have a bit of a laugh even when I'm doing a dark topic like this, because that's my nature. I turn to humour in these dark topics, and I have children, and I can't imagine children of parents going through what we're talking about in this video, and worse, with the sexual trafficking. I mean, you have to look at the nuns in this. I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg, as they say. Selling children off to politicians, to the rich, for orgies and stuff, and it's horrific. And that's dark. That's the dark nature of humans. You can call us the beasts, and that's why 6 carbons and all that malarkey adds to 666, the number of the beast. And then people say, well, no, the number of beasts is not 666, it's 616, and some will say it's different. So there's so many numbers refer to the beast, but are we not capable of being a beast? Are we not capable of evil and good? And it's that balance between the doorway of when you're opening a door to good to bad, to good to bad, and vice versa. It influences, it's a frequency, like I was saying. So these people are evil, hence the mark of the beast. It is evil, it's a frequency. And so if you can't hear me too much, I'll try and turn it up. I've got a blocked nerve. And surely as a community, we have to fight and stick up for people who are weaker and susceptible for indoctrination. I know I've said we're all indoctrinated to a level, and we are, but I know what right and wrong is. Well, I think I do, I hope I do. And it hurts me because I care about the community, even though it sticks its knife into me through trolls and for people who want to defend rapists, kidnappers and murderers in the community. I mean, you just want to look at your children in the face, and I'll get slaughtered for this, but I don't care. We as a people, and I look at my children, I'm trying to make their life better in this crazy world, and we have sex trafficking, we've got people drinking the fucking blood of children to stay young, and worse things, children going missing. I mean, that series, if I remember, is called 411, it wasn't it? And 4 add 1 add 1 is 6, is 9, the human number of mortality. And these people want to transform themselves using magic, and they're transitioning their vessels to stay young. We were seeing in celebrities, and it's like on YouTube land, rightly or wrongly, the more subs you get, it seems to be like YouTube land, like Hollywood. And we're in a community where we're having people who shouldn't be there telling people what the truth is, and people are lapping it up. Truth should never be used as a weapon. That's why I've talked about the truth being weaponized. Just like adrenochrome, people will believe it's true and people will believe it's not. But are you telling me who do not believe in it that they're not doing stuff to children and drinking the blood of children and eating humans and eating children? I think you would say so. You just thought it's like semantics over a name, but there's a purpose in using that name because it's a spell. You tell me it's a coincidence that the numbers in adrenochrome add to 9, which is the number of human immortality. They're drinking 9. And we know the numerology. I left so much out. I could have made a 10-hour video on the numerology of number 9 and all the things. And people say, why didn't you put that in? Because I didn't want to take away from the message, the stamp, the shock value, in the sense of, I've been talking about this numbers in adrenochrome for years. And unless you've watched my channel and you're an OG, you wouldn't know. So why is that information not getting shared in the community? Is it because it's crap? Highly possible. Is it because it's bollocks? Highly possible. It's an opinion, but it's an opinion that fits. And all we're getting all these messages from channels that have a past that we're supposed to be fighting against. And because it's truth, we in the community seem to, oh, okay, well, it's the truth. Because they have a past like that, and we're making excuses for them. We should be the forebearers. We should be the ones saying, you know what, guys, that's not fucking acceptable. And people are following, and people are fucking trolling me because of fucking paedophiles and fucking kidnappers and murderers and fucking rapists. No fucking longer. And I'm not apologising no more. It's just wrong. And people who've supported me are now attacking me for having the thoughts of children. No, children come first. You know what I mean? They're the future we're supposed to be looking out for. And when I'm doing topics like this, it gets me pumped, because people think because I'm so mild-mannered and weak, I'm not. I'm far from weak. But where does aggression, where does get you in life? Do you know what I mean? It gets you nowhere. People, you know what I mean? I'm not here to fight constantly with people. I'm here to enjoy life. I'm here to put a smile on my face. I'm here to smile and have a laugh, even in dark days and topics like this, because that's who I am. But we're all different. But we should have the core fundamentality of children come first. Do you know what I mean? Your loved ones come first, and then you can do, you know, they say God comes first and all that. Family come first for me, and my children come first, and I'm here to protect them. And it hurts me when I'm in a community where paedophilia is rife. It is rife. No, you're not going to get that on this channel. You know what I mean? It's just no. And the truth is being weaponized, and I even got trolled when I did that video being weaponized. It is the fundamentality, oh, big word again, is the core common denominator in all of these topics that we do is you matter. You matter, guys. Without you know, you're giving me the energy to fight these battles, to make these videos, to be in those dark places. And you need the light, you need to get out. And without the love and the supporters around me and the people keeping me laughing each day, it would be hard. It's hard being and doing what we're doing. It's hard when people are polarising you, putting you into a position where that's you, and this is this, and then these channels, and that them channel said this is what the truth is, and you're saying that you're wrong, Paul. We're not right, we're not wrong, we're winging it. And I'll hold my hand up and say I'm winging it, I'm just getting through this existence. I look and see patterns, and I'll tell you what I see, I'll tell you what other people are seeing, because the truth is personal. That's why you is in the middle of it. And as you guys know, the truth contains a trap, a rut. And that's why people get stuck in a topic, stuck on a channel. And I don't want to tell you guys, right guys, this is fact, because I'd be lying. It's just an opinion on the information I've found. And aren't you sick of life, the controlling aspects of the cabal, telling you what to do? I am. Are you then not angry, not angry and such, but getting fucking pissed off with people in the community telling you how to research, how to look at something, how to think? If you think like that, you're a shill. If you follow that channel, you're a shill. If you follow that channel, you're associated with that. It's why I don't do too many collabs with people, because I'm sick of people because you've gone on that channel, you're with them. I'm not. People have asked me on and I've gone on. Do you know what I mean? There's only so much background check you can check. If I find out someone is less desirable, I won't go on the channel. I won't even talk about them, because I don't want to think about that negativity in me. Life is hard enough. I have a hard life, what I have to do on a daily basis, and this is my escape. So, you know what I mean? I don't want to do topics like this, but I have to get the message out there that, guys, there's something in it when they're drinking the blood and the artificial version is in short supply, and they've named the chemical formula that. Surely there's something in it when it adds the 9, and that's human immortality. Then if you look at it just as singularly as 243, in a certain religion and aspect, it's the Zaya Ampin, which is the aspect of God. So a chemical formula adds to the aspect of God, and they're drinking it. They are taking it, they're injecting it, they're doing the blood. That casts a spell. They are thinking this is the face, the aspect of God, and that's what's rejuvenating us. Hence the cycle of 6 and 9. And then you put into 11. Why do you think they talk about 3, 6 and 9? Yes, because it's the power of the vocal cords. I've showed you the connection there. But also it's these numbers. In regard to numerology, they've made numerology be divine. Whether it is or not, is it for everyone to see? You can talk about pi again. Look at pi. It's 6, but turn upside down, it's 9. So you can see the symbology in that. And it's crazy. It's intriguing as well. Not just on this topic, that topic, but when you start looking into other aspects, like the etymology of number 9, it looked like a number 6. That's why I was talking about the number of the beast. 666. Turn it upside down. 999 is what we phone for emergencies in the UK. 999. 9 and 9, 18. Add another 9 is 27 equals 9. So it's just funny that this keeps reoccurring and it's attached itself to number 11, the doorway, the realm of 11. And they want to transition and transform themselves by drinking this. And that adds to 11. There's no coincidences where that cannot be. In hell, wow. I wish I didn't know that type of thing. Do you know what I mean? So you can start to see patterns in the shadiness when we're talking about drinking the blood, and it's also called white rabbit. And the white rabbit is also associated with Janos. I've showed you that many times in the videos. Every first day of every month in this country we go white rabbit, right out 3 times. You know what I mean? And it's a symbol supposedly of good luck. So it's associated with Janos because it's on the first day of every month. And that was these calends. So it's just intriguing, but this topic in itself, isn't it? It just blows me away. I know I had that crazy theory, and it's just a crazy theory that I've had in my mind for a long time. Again, doesn't mean I'm right. It just, when we're talking about, and we're seeing all these ancient megaliths built underground, these huge stones, these huge cities, is it evidence of a mud flood, or is it evidence of an ancient dome? You know, the deep underground bases that the Cabal seem to be building today. People associate the Cabal and evil with reptilians. What if the fact that they just lived underground? Hence why we have ant people, and I showed you the picture being chalked. It could just be what the tool that they had, or could it be the fact that they were white people, white Egyptians, associated with Egyptians because they look at the hieroglyph, because it looked like an ant. That came out and helped, but they decided to live underground. What if after an apocalyptic event we all lived underground, a certain number of people left to go back to the surface, some decided to stay underground, or did we coexist? You know what I mean? People lived in the ice or in the caves, hence why there's white skin, because of obviously the pigmentation of the melanin. That was just a thought. And obviously if you were exposed to the sun and the radiation all the time, and obviously melatonin is produced by, or melanin, one of them is produced by the pineal gland. And what was if you had not enough, and because you lived underground? How many films, TV stuff, how many ancient civilizations talk about people living in caves, living underground? It's crazy. So could them, the fact that they're drinking this blood, drinking or taking the adrenochrome, because it's also known as neuromelanin, be one of the reasons? Because I just like looking at other theories. Well, okay, if there's no such thing as adrenochrome itself, yeah, they're drinking the blood, and is there another reason why they're doing it? Could it be this? Obviously melanin is the pigment responsible for skin tone. So if we were, I'm just saying as a nature, not mean us specific, but if they believe them to be ancient fucking L-shites, I call them L-shites or shites instead of elites, they believe they come from people who lived under the ground, or are reptilians themselves in nature, or them, because people see freaky things out there. So if they need melanin or melatonin in the sense of the pigment to actually come up to surface so it doesn't burn the skin as much, I don't know. Like I said, it's not fact, it's just me winging it and coming up with an idea. Hopefully you guys can not think I'm stir crazy as much. Because look at the word neuromelanin. NEU meant messenger, or mole. Navos sounds like Navi, like the Navi in Avatar. It's just intriguing. So moles, what do moles live? Why they live underground? We've had journey to the centre of the earth and all this, and we have all those tales of, to get to new land you have to go underground in doorways and portals, you know, them stories. And yes, as you know, I've talked about how there's 2 islands named Janos. You know what I mean? Could that be where these people came from? I just don't know. Then you had NEU for neuromelanin. You had RO was rest, calm, tranquility, but also there was YRO. Could that be somewhere linked to that, because that meant man? So we had like mole man, you know, out of those words of my spelletymology. And then obviously Mela means black or dark, and Nin is obviously a Sumerian god, but also it means lady, queen, in charge, and also lord. So melanin means dark lord. Star Wars music. So that's the intriguing part of it, as well as it. So that was just a crazy out there theory that I had. Why they could be doing it and doing other things, because it's crazy. We have sex trafficking, we have children going missing, an abnormal huge number, and it gets changed it just keeps going up. Sex trafficking is going through the roof. The black market of body parts and things are through the roof. I've talked about that in my video, the Caduceus or the Caduceus. Why do medical symbols have just 1 and 2 when it should be just 1 according to his story? Because it's a business, it's a commerce where things get traded. We get traded, we're a commodity to them. So blood is just the same. Like the gladiators fighting, the people were fighting to get hold of the blood of the gladiators to drink, because they believed it to cure epilepsy and all sorts. And these people are drinking that. So it's all well saying, yeah, Paul just coming up with these theories and ideas. Yeah, I go a little bit more than just saying, yeah, people are drinking adrenochrome, that people sex trafficking. It adds to 9. 9 is human immortality. Wow. 243, the aspect, the face of God. They're drinking the small face of God. That's what it also means, small face. Small face, children. To me, slam dunk. Although it's an opinion, I never say it's fact. That's too much to ignore. See what you guys think on it. Because yes, it's a dark topic, and I don't like I said, I don't like talking about these things, but we have to sometimes go to places where we don't want to go. Like I said, I have children, the world's hard. I'm trying to show them how to navigate it through my experiences. It's hard, and we have to be, you know, both light and dark to our children. Because, and people think, well, light and dark. Yes, you need both in life, because light is showing them the way, but also the shade is dark, and that is us protecting them. So that is the duality where we have to be both light and dark to our children. And for far too long, you know what I mean, my nature is, if you leave me, I'll leave you. But people are just attacking me on a scurry level, defending certain people, and shame on you guys. I've told you on various videos, and people complain that I'm actually saying these things, like, you just ignore it. I am. I'm not giving time, but I have to show people what you go through. People don't know what certain people go through on a daily basis, and I just want to be here for you guys, show you a different opinion each week. I've lost enough good people this year and you know what I mean. It's just very hard in YouTube land, guys, and we should have each other's back. The truth has been weaponized. How many people have you lost as friends because as soon as you say something that goes against their core belief, the claws are out because some channels have told them that's fact. We're fucking winging it. It's just an opinion, and what keeps us all together is you. You are the common denominator. We are. Your torus field is what protects and also lets you see. And you know what I mean? We should all take it as a pinch of salt. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this, even though the topic is not the best, but we've gone through this reality of, you can see it. What I show you, people say it doesn't exist because it's in history. Well, that can be for anything. That always makes me laugh, isn't it, guys, when people say you're lying. That's his story. Yeah, whose history now? Oh yeah, it's Janos, I've showed you that. Tor is door. So you got to go through his door because he's the god of transitions and transformations. Anytime you want to go from there to there, what connects all things but the magic in this reality, in this realm of 11? The magic, the Hecker. That's why he went on to become Hecate. But the Hecker, even the gods need it. And who has authority over that? Going from there to there is Janos. That's why they worship him. That's why they're trying to do all these stupid rituals. I believe everyone is good and bad, just like the gods, because we are from them. And that's just an opinion, rightly or wrongly. It is. And it's like this topic, adrenochrome. Some people get aggressive, don't want to talk about it because it's so dark, thinking this is happening. And sometimes you don't want to look into things because if you don't look into it, it doesn't exist. And I hold my hand up. I didn't look into this topic for so long because I didn't want it to be true, because I have children in this world, and it's not nice knowing that there's people out there who look at your children and you as food or a target or a commodity. And that's why sometimes we have to have some morals that we stay to. Rightly or wrongly, I respect people who stay to certain morals. That's their core belief. Even if I don't believe it's right, the aspects of, yeah, you know, you're sticking to that. But the one thing I do is if stuff's happening to children, and we know, well, because paedophilia is rife on fucking YouTube, that's my cut off. No. And, you know what I mean, I'll stick up for the children. I don't like people who seem to ignore the facts, and that's just what I don't like in the community, how we ignore that heinous shit because they're coming out with the truth. No, they're coming out with fucking shit to make money and warp fucking minds. The amount of people, friends I've lost, is because they've gone fucking cuckoo because they believe in shit that people said on channels. We have to sit together. If you ever look at like Sun Tzu and things like that, and it shows you an intelligence and your discernment. I've showed you what discernment means in videos of this. Even me need an anchor, and you people are my anchors. No. If Steve was alive, I'd say, yes, we need anchors and we need wankers. That's you, Steve. That's my good bud. And we do, guys. We need them. We need you. I'm nothing without the support that people show me, because I don't see it behind the scenes. I don't see all the stuff that you do, getting my name out there. And this is to you. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Yes, I do have one. Yeah, so guys, this topic was dark. I mean, we're talking about priests drinking children's blood because they're in a coma. 3 children at 10, 33. Come off. You know, it's just so in your face. You sit down with children go missing, and we live in a world of monsters. And we have to show people that, yes, a topic, people, a faith are good, but they're also bad. And this is what people can do. You can take away with it what you want, but they are drinking children's blood, whether you call it adrenochrome or there's another name for it. There's another name, I think they call it white rabbit, they call it red velvet. Look at they wear red shoes. You know, it can go on. And I just wanted to make this video slightly different. For instance, if people watch a video from channels Adrenochrome, you'll get this, and it's more gore and this. I just wanted to show a little different side, my side. You know what I mean? You can tell it's made by me, rightly or wrongly, with a few things from interviews. I mean, looking at, they're trying to promote it, music videos, eating people, eating human flesh. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like the Wendy Horn myth, you know, eating human flesh, changing the transformation, the 6 to the 9. It is just a reality that we live in, unfortunately, and we just have to keep fighting, guys. And I know this topic is not nice to go over, and I know I've had a little rant on, I've swore, but sometimes you just have to. You have to show your teeth. You have to, which I won't show. Hello. That's for you. But you know what I mean, guys. And I'll even use humour in it, because I don't like to think of these bad things. And for all the people out there, thank you for the love and the support. Hopefully you like the crazy theory in it. The number 9, yeah, I left a lot out with that because I didn't want to put in, you know, I just wanted to keep it streamlined. If you want to check out my old video, it's on the Black Sheep Researcher on Odyssey, and you'll see I talk about the Nazak and the different things that are said of which accompany, you know, the Zoa Ampan. And I didn't want to go down that route because I've done that a couple of times, and it seems to be forgetting what I'm talking about in the main thing, the title 9. Look at the etymology, it used to be 6 in certain periods in the Great Vowel L shift. Again, people forget about that video I've done. People talk about, oh, there's things happening, resets. That is the reset. Even they stamp on it, they even say it. That's when all this science that they use and indoctrination came out. Etymology, spell etymology. Look, when the words were created, it's all in this period. The Great Vowel to L shift. They shifted their vowels from one god to another. And that is why you'll see it. In that period, everything has an I or a J on it for Ianos and Janos. Even the guy so-called inventing the letter J to go in was a Jesuit. And Jesuits have seals with Janos on it. And John is Gian or Giovanni, who invented it. Janos. God of time and so much, guys. I know some people don't like it, but that's their god. They've swapped it. They've swapped the vowels or swapped frequencies, because everything is key, frequency keys. So this is the thing. They are there casting spells, drinking 9, and look at the divine nature. It's a transition. They're staying young. You can Google it or search engine it, whatever you use. Time traveling celebrities. Are these photos fake? Highly possible. You have to say that. But what if it is them or relatives? They've been doing this. Who knows? It's just topics open for debate and talking. You know what I mean, guys? So it's intriguing. And people always ask me how can I get in contact with me? My email has been messed about with. Comments are getting messed about with, but I've just joined the Instagram. If you want to try and I want to try and go back on Twitter and different things. It's just I have a hard life, guys. I look after a dependent 24/7, and when I have a free minute to myself, I'm making content. So that is why sometimes I do miss a lot of comments. Just, you know, it's not me disrespecting anyone. It's just I don't have enough time, and when I do have that time, the people who I have core friends, that they're the ones I'm chatting to in that time. You know, not everyone. So that's why I'm not on social media as much, but I'm trying to, because people want, you know, to get in contact. So if you're on Instagram, please look for What the Flock TV. I'm on there. You'll see the stuff. I've only just joined the other day, so please join. I don't even know how to use it, but hopefully I'll see you on there, guys. I'll see you in the chat. Again, thank you. I love you guys, and let's just make this world, you know, more livable until we get out of here. And we'll try and get out of here together by sharing ideas. Different ideas have different keys, and we'll try and find the skeleton key, guys. So take care, stay safe. Always wear a smile. Thank you for the love and the support. Like, share and subscribe, and buy me a coffee. All that is, it will be in the description. And I love you guys. Now, should I keep you talking just by as I'm going? As I'm just trying to waste a few minutes. Let me get up to a certain time on this. No, a bit longer, because I don't want to be labelled this or labelled that. So, we live in a crazy world. For sure, guys. So, hopefully you can see why I've talked about this. You can see the relationship between 6, 9 and 11. The transition in numbers. Why is adrenochrome adding to 9 to 11 in this reality on gematria? Because it's a doorway, it's a transition. They've said that it's a cycle, it's a cyclical, if that's a word. And yep, that's what I forgot. So scrub that, rewind. That's why I had to put in a bit about Monsters Inc. Because obviously they're talking about going through doors, making children scream, the fight or flight reflex, creating adrenaline, and they're powering the monsters city with that. That is a wow. And the Children's Detection Agency, when I looked into that, the first image was a 2-headed one. Come off it. That cannot be. That is this Matrix telling me something. And it all adds to 9. Each one of them, the main characters, was a 9. Even a Janice character in it. So there we go, guys. That's why I've just put that in, because of the link to this sex trafficking, the drinking children's blood, hence Monsters Inc. And all the aspects of doors, and obviously what I research. So guys, there we go. There's a quick another minute recoup on what I'm just going through. Stay safe, take care. I'll see you in the chat. Bye, ladies. Take care.